We got a little bit more information and updates in regards to Henry Cavill's Superman movie. Also, a message from Zack Snyder himself. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. So Henry Cavill actually had a live interview with Happy Sad Confused podcast in New York City. And this is when he actually got to talk a little bit more about Superman. As you know, he confirmed that he was officially back as Superman on Instagram on October 24th. And as I've said before, seeing that Black Adam cameo was pretty much him announcing his return. Well, he has finally now spoken publicly in that live interview, and he said this. Cavill said he got the call to film his Black Adam cameo as he was filming his Netflix fantasy series, The Witcher. He had to get clearance for the production team to take a break from filming, but his Superman return was so top secret that he was not allowed to disclose why he was asking for a break. He said, I went to Warner Brothers studio in the UK and got back in the suit. It was a very powerful moment for me. I wasn't sure how I would feel, whether it would be something very emotionally connective because I put the Man of Steel suit back on. I chose that one in particular because of the nostalgia attached to the suit. It was important for me to be standing there and enjoying that moment. That is one of the top moments in my career. It feels great to have the opportunity to wear it again. He also had this to say about the half-decade he spent waiting for the news about playing Superman again. I told myself I'm going to let it sit and simmer in the background. I never lost hope. That was the key for me. Now, in regards to a possible new Superman movie, well, this is what he said.
Is there a specific plan? Is there a script or a director or a story? Or are we at the stage where we're figuring out what the next Superman story is?
Right now, I can't share any information.
Okay.
I know. But if I'm going to be a good partner to everyone, then I have to be able to keep the secrets when the secrets are necessary. So right now I can't share anything, but in time, I'll be able to share, and everyone will hear all the exciting things to come.
Fair enough.
So thanks, Cavill. I guess we don't really know what the next Superman movie is really going to be. But he did add this. The character means so much to me. It's been 5 years now. I never gave up hope. It's amazing to be here now talking about it again. There's such a bright future ahead for the character. I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman. Honestly, it's not a big surprise. He has been talking about this new, grown evolution of Superman in previous interviews.
Where we left off with Man of Steel in particular, which was a guy who had found his place, or tried to find his place, but had sort of found it by the end, had committed something which he would consider a most horrific sin by killing the last member of his species. That is a place where I'd like to travel from with the character. Him exploring the positivity of who he is. Not necessarily the chocolate box version, but that leaning into that character who actually becomes an icon of hope and enjoying that experience rather than necessarily being made uncomfortable by it.
I would love to make a Superman movie, absolutely. I would love to draw from all of my favorite comic books and make an original story there which is based in the essences of those characters and have that joyful, hopeful, powerful figure who Superman is, and not just like the chocolate box sort of, saving kittens and stuff. A little bit of that, absolutely, but also the badass version of Superman. Superman who you see his raw power, not necessarily unleashed in a negative way, but you see it in the protection of other people.
Which, yes, he definitely is going to have a more hopeful Superman sequel. But what is interesting is that not only is the audience is cheering for his return, well, it looks like somebody else has a message for him.
A surprise for you, Henry. I reached out to Zack, and he sent something in.
Uh-oh.
Let's look at a message from Zack Snyder for Henry Cavill.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Henry, I have a question. When we first did Man of Steel, and we were doing the flying shots for the first time, and we put you in the belly pan or on the wires, I can't remember which we did first. Did it feel odd to be, just there in front of green screen, doing your flying, shots, with us just touching the camera and you having to act like you're flying, but, before you had ever seen what it might look like or what it might feel like. How was that? Was that odd, and did you expect it to turn out the way it did? So that's my question. I can't wait to work with you in the future, and you are, of course, the greatest Superman ever.
He's a lovely man. He's a lovely man, and I'm enormously appreciative of everything he's done for me, especially by casting me in Man of Steel. Those are formative memories of mine, career-wise. It was when everything changed, and I remember them fondly. Yeah. I remember fondly hanging above fields it was Illinois, and just outside of Plano. Amazing memories and a lot to be thankful for. So, Zack, if you're watching on one of these many cameras, thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Wow, it's so cool to see Zack Snyder have a video message for him. And by the way, what? Did he just say he can't wait to work with him again? Would Zack Snyder actually get the opportunity to work with Henry Cavill once again? Possibly in a Superman sequel? I mean, he could just be saying that he can't wait to work with him once again, and not necessarily Superman or Justice League. Which, being that Henry Cavill is the Superman that he created, Zack Snyder would definitely get producer credit on the next Superman movie, I bet. But hey, if Zack Snyder were ever to get the opportunity to come back and finish up his Justice League, it would have an evil Superman. But this is what Henry Cavill has said before.
And if he were to succumb to the anti-life equation and become bad Superman, I really wanted to make sure that we saw the hero, Superman, and we saw the true symbol of hope, the beacon of light, before we went down the path of darkness and then redemption.
So yeah, even Henry Cavill knows that if it were to get to that evil Superman, he would still want to tell his hopeful Superman first, which he definitely will be with a new DC head in the name of James Gunn. And when the question came up about what he thought about James Gunn being the new DC head, he said this.
Speaking of, you heard the news today that James Gunn is going to be helping steer the ship, I assume.
Yes, yeah. Very excited about that.
Right?
And just to add to the event today, sources have told The Hollywood Reporter that Warner Brothers is taking pitches from writers for a sequel to The Man of Steel. So I hope they get the writers and directors and everybody quickly to get this thing off the ground, because I cannot wait to see another Man of Steel sequel, a Superman solo movie with Henry Cavill. Alright, what did you think about the little update today and Zack Snyder's little message to Henry Cavill? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.